I once heard a woman say that it is better for her to cry in a jeep than to be laughing under the hot sun. While another man said he prefers peace of mind in his home than walking about with a beautiful Jezebel. As for me, my mom told me that a strong woman means suffering. She said, Deka, show me a strong woman. Show me an industrious woman. Show me a woman who is, commended as very strong. I will show you a woman who is suffering. Now, in all these scenarios, what it means is that everybody should be selfish when choosing their life partner. You really need to choose what is best for you, what is very, very important to you. And that's why in this video, I'm going to be sharing some important things you have to consider when choosing your right partner. I'm also going to tell you the things you have to do in yourself first, and then the external ones you need to do before choosing the right partner for you. Welcome to Glow the Kani Marriage School, the place where we help the unmarried to choose right and keep the married from running until they must. Now, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so. It's going to be an adventurous journey. We want to help you. I want to make sure your marriage is blissful. Yes, some things may not work always as you plan, but at least let's gain 80% of it working all the time. So subscribe, hit the notification button, share our content. Even if you are married or you don't need our content, there's someone out there who will need it. Share it to your friends, tell them to subscribe to our channel, because as we grow, we will keep bringing out potent contents like this, talking about making our marriages work. First thing I want you to do right now is to change your idea about marriage. Marriage is a very serious affair. Marriage is difficult. I don't know if you are still believing that marriage is a bed of roses. Well, you are still in the dreamland. Marriage is a very serious matter. It's difficult, it's challenging, just because of the responsibilities that come to you when you get married. Another thing is, marriage is difficult because you are going to be living with a stranger, someone you don't know from Adam. You can imagine that even your siblings, make you angry sometimes, and you guys can even fight, exchange words, and, carry face for one another for some time. What about someone who you don't even know from Adam, someone from another background? That's why you have to really, really prepare your mind to understand that marriage is a very tricky affair. Another thing that makes marriage difficult is the demands of money. Okay, when you get married, your responsibilities increase. The babies will come, you have to buy pampers, your in-laws are there, your wife needs, are there. If as a woman, the man needs you to do this, the man needs you to do that, you are supposed to behave in a certain way, you don't take decisions alone. So many things are going to be very difficult for you to adjust to. So change your mentality today, okay? First, you have to accept that marriage is not a joke. Marriage is a very serious affair. It is one of the hardest stages or phases of your life as a human being. Secondly, you have to accept that your spouse can never be perfect. You can never get a perfect wife, and you can never get a perfect husband. For many people who are delaying getting married because they are looking for that perfect husband or perfect wife, you have to start changing that idea right now. Just prepare your mind that this is a journey, and I have to be selfish about maybe choosing the right person for me, not the perfect person for me. I also want you to prepare your mind to accept the demands of marriage. Okay? Not when your husband tells you, don't do this or don't do that, you start reacting anyhow. Even though what he's saying you should not do is something that is unacceptable to you, you have to know how to approach the issue. Another thing I want you also to accept is that so many things may come up that you never expected. Your spouse that you thought you are in love with, and he loves you, she loves you, will come into marriage and start exhibiting those characters that you never expected from him or her. So you really have to expect it. Then there is what I call seasons of marriage. This season, what I mean by this is there will be times of joy and there will be times of happiness. Okay, so you really have to carry all these things in mind, bear them in mind, changing your whole idea of marriage accepting that it's something that you don't joke about. Now, the next thing I want you to do is to tell yourself the truth. Know who you are. It's so wrong not to know who you are first before you start looking for a life partner. If you are someone who gets easily irritated, you should know by now. If you're someone who is stingy, please accept that you are stingy. If you're someone who gets easily angry, accept it. Tell yourself, I am someone who gets easily angry. I am someone who doesn't like to part with my money. I am someone who, just tell yourself, find out who you are first before you start looking for a partner. Now, why do you need to find out who you are? It will help you to choose the right partner for you. You can't be a stingy man and then go and marry a stingy woman. I don't even know what you guys are going to do in the house. Everybody will be hiding their resources. This person will hide. Even when you are dying, your wife will tell you that she doesn't have. When she's dying, you tell her you don't have. So please, make sure you accept who you are, identify your flaws, and then look for someone who is going to compliment you. If you are stingy, a generous wife is good for you. If you get easily angry, marry someone who doesn't get easily irritated and maybe angry. This is the next thing I want you to do. While knowing yourself, it is also important to identify what makes you happy and what makes you sad. Okay? If you don't know what makes you happy, you just go and marry someone, just like that, because maybe something attracted you to her. And maybe when she now comes in, you expect her to do those things that makes you happy. And she doesn't have it to give. What are you going to do? So make sure you know what makes you sad. You know what makes you angry. Forget about this I love you that people use to cover so many things. When it comes to marriage, marriage is an eye opener. They say love is blind. Marriage opens your eye. What is it opening your eye to? The flaws of your partner, okay? The responsibility that marriage brings and everything. So make sure you have identified all these things before you start looking for a life partner. Remember, you can stay with this one person for 30 years, depending on how God gives you grace. You will live with this one man or this one woman for many years. You may say, if it's not working, I'll walk away. I've told people a lot of times, walking away is not always easy. We can say it, but doing it is a different ball game. Now, when kids are involved, there are so many things that will tie you down. So make it right, choose it right at the beginning. The next step to choosing your right partner is to do what? Write down your vision. Write down your goals. I've heard a lot of women say that their husbands killed their career. I've seen a lot of men whose wives' extravagant ways, sent them back to the village. That was not what they envisaged for themselves. Now, before you start choosing anybody, what is your vision? What kind of life do you want? What kind of future are you planning? What are you seeing? This person you're going to choose, will he or she support it or kill your dreams? Okay? This is very important and very critical. If you're a man with a vision to be, you have a political ambition, you want to be this, you want to be that, what kind of wife will be by your side? Is it someone you will say, let us save and achieve this? You will say, no, 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 no. I really need to buy some human hair, different types, to look like other women. Now, what kind of man are you going to marry if you're an ambitious woman? Personally, I am ambitious. I have so many goals. I have my own visions. But do you know what I love about my husband? He is more ambitious than me. So there's no way he's going to stop me from pursuing my own ambition when I'm even trying to meet up with him. He's on a roll. He's rolling in his own ambition. So I myself, my own little ambition, nobody's telling me not to pursue it because he is focused on his own. What if I married somebody who doesn't have any ambition? His vision is so myopic that, what will happen to me? If you rise up, he will tell you, sit down. So I've heard some people say, if I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have married him. If I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have married her. How would you know when you didn't carefully plan these things I'm telling you? So please, think hard. As someone who has not said, will you or I will, this is your opportunity. This is a very serious and important aspect. Now, what do you want your future to be like? Anybody, if you choose someone who is wrong, he or she will make or mar your future. Now that you have completed stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, the fourth stage is all about searching if you're a man. And sieving if you're a woman. Now, a man, you have to search, okay? Don't just take anything that comes. Once you have decided what you want in a wife, the vision you have for your life, the goals you want to achieve, the next thing you do what? You search. Where is that wife coming from? Who am I going to marry that will meet? Now, when you have identified all these things now, it will be easy for you to find the person who fits all. But when you don't know, you'll be trying from Jessica to Jacinta, trying to know. When you have identified what you want, especially about your life, it will be easy for you to search. Now, as a woman, you have to sieve. Not every man that comes will make a good husband. You have realized what you want your life to be. Who is that man that will help you to achieve it? Okay, who is that man that fits that the plan you have? I know it may not be easy for a woman to see, but please, you have to do it. We are talking about your life, not when you have married the wrong person. You come and start telling us, hey, it's my life now, it's my life, I can decide to work out. Say this thing now that you have not entered. Say, it is my life, I must find the best person for me. In my previous video, I talked about some best men to marry and some good women to marry. I even talked about those not to marry, and those men you should run away from, and those women you should run away from. So if you've not watched that video, please rush now and watch them, because when you are searching, you have to bear those things I mentioned in mind. They are very, very important, especially where marriage is concerned. Now, when you are searching, another thing I also want you to pay attention to is, based on your vision, do you want someone who is educated? Do you want a businessman or woman? Okay. Now, do you want a housewife? Do you want a career woman? Please make sure you discover the pros and cons, like the advantages and disadvantages of marrying any of these people I mentioned. Okay, when you have realized their advantages and disadvantages, it will be easy for you to choose. Okay, now when it comes to women, you can say, do you want beauty or do you want brain? Do you want beauty and brain? Which that one you really need to search, and you really need to fight for it. Beauty and then brain. Some people may say, I want a beautiful wife. Some people may say, no, 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 I want a very smart wife. It all depends on you. But you have to complete those 3 stages up there first before it will now help you to know what you want in a woman. Now, if you are a man, if you are a woman, you can say, I want a man with personality, charisma, or you can say, I want a rich man, or you can say, I want an industrious man. It all depends on you. So with this in mind, you now complete this stage 4, which is searching and sieving. After stage 4, there is a very important thing I want you to check, and I call it the flaw. In my last video, I told you that a man of God said, stop telling people that marriage is hard. Carry your own cross, of course. But I also told you that when you are getting married, or when you plan to get married, find out the weight of the cross you are about to carry. Okay? If you want to carry a heavy cross, you have to accept it and find it out first. If you want to carry a light cross, you also need to find out. So after finding that person that you think will suit you, the next thing, please find out the flaw. No woman, no man is perfect. We all have our own imperfections. That flaw that person has, is it something you can live with for the next 20 years or 30 years? If you cannot live with that flaw, please run away now before you say, I do. Once you have discovered the flaw, and it's not something that you can, it's not something that you cannot bear, of course, you go ahead and marry the person. The only thing you are going to do is to start planning on how to do what? Manage it when it comes up. It's not when you finish your wedding and everything, and then the first year, some people have heard that, I can't continue in this marriage. I didn't know she's like this. I didn't know she's like that. You think she changed because she started answering your wife? You think he changed because he started answering your husband? No, the flaw was there, but you never made any effort to find it. But if you can find it before you go to the altar, all right, it will be easy for you to, accept it and then plan on how to handle it. I want to share a bonus tip, okay? After finding the flaw and deciding to accept or reject it by running away, the next thing I want you to do is something related to health. Let me just pick one of them, and that's this genotype stuff. I've seen a lot of people who are dating now. Some of them they've not even checked their genotypes, okay? It's very wrong. Please, before choosing anybody at all, I think it's something you should even do. If you are in a relationship now, rush and go and check your genotype. Let the lady or the guy check his or her genotype. Please, it is very, very critical, so that you don't spend so many years investing in a relationship that will not end up a marriage as you planned. Now, you've seen let me say, some of the things you need to do to help you in choosing the right partner. Now that you've heard about them, I want you to implement them. Please, don't just be the hearer. I also want you to be the doer, okay? And remember, if you've not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. That's all. It doesn't cost you any money to subscribe. Just open it with your Gmail, log into YouTube with your Gmail, and then you can just click subscribe and subscribe. Now, if you have something to add, comment, or there's a topic you want me to discuss in my next video, I want you to go to the comment section and write it down, all right? But if you support these things I've said, if you accept that they are truth, I want you to give this video a like, all right? I'll be seeing you in the next video.